Have you ever wondered how to fish a wacky rig?
It only go about halfway.
Oh yeah,
Humps my humps. Check it out.
just a little guy.
Thanks for catching me, Prongs Outdoors.
Well, once upon a time I wondered the same thing and I had to go scour the internet for videos to find out how to do it. But you're in the right place because today I'm gonna show you how to rig it up, different ways that you can rig it up and different tools that you can use. I'm gonna show you where to fish it, how to fish it, and I'm gonna show you how to catch fish with it. So stay tuned. So what do you need gear-wise? You need a pole, you need some line, you need the very obvious basics, but the bait, you need a Yamasenko, you need a Yum Dinger, you need some kind of stick bait. A lot of people call these Senkos. They're actually called stick baits.
We call it a Senko because a company named Yamamoto makes this bait. It's called a Yamasenko.
But it is a soft plastic worm. You want one that is filled with salt or something that's going to make it sink. You don't want a weightless one because then it's just going to sit there and float. It's not going to get the right action. What we're looking for here is we're going to hook this in the middle, and as it falls, it's going to wiggle. Outside of that, you'll need some hooks. You can use, usually you want to stick with wide gap, but you can use any size you want. Try not to go too big. I mean, smaller fish will bite these, and I know that this looks like a big bait, but a lot of fish will swallow that. What they do is they just suck it right up. They also make a weedless. This one kind of has the clips on. As the fish bites it, that clip comes off. And then they have the ones that are like jigs, where they kind of got a brush guard there. All these will work. I mean, and you can pretty much use any hook in your arsenal. You just want it to have enough gap there so that it has enough play, and I'll show you what I mean. But outside of that, the only other thing you'll really need, or I should say, the only other thing that you really can use, O-ring tool. I bought one of these just to show you guys, but it's a tool where you put the worm in there, you slide the little O-ring down, you put it in the middle, and then you hook it there, and I'll show you that.
All right, I got the pole I want to put this on. This pole currently is set up with a Texas rig, which is just a weight at the front, shank worm with an offset, and a worm. Similar idea to Wacky Rig, but not quite as effective. Way more effective in weeds, but that's besides the point. Let's get this swapped out, and I'll show you the whole process. All right, find yourself some scissors. Now, you can set up a Wacky Rig with a small weight on it. If you really don't want to be fishing this too deep, but if you're fishing moving water, you're fishing out somewhere where it's really wavy, choppy, the boat's moving a lot, you can't get away with putting a small weight on there. But for the sake of today, we're just going to say, hey, we're fishing in a little creek, we're fishing in a pond, we're fishing in a small lake with not a lot of wind. So let's open up. I'm actually going to try one of these today. I haven't tried the ones with the brush guards. Tried the other weedless variation. I like to throw it without the weedless because I found that I just get a better bite. It just seems to work a little bit better. So as you can see, it's not a huge hook. It's not a heavy hook. It's got a little brush guard on there, but that brush guard, the reason I want to try this over the metal one is because that metal piece doesn't seem to pop off like I want it to. I can't hook up as much. My hookup ratio is a little bit lower. I like to fish without the weedless part at all, but these are like a fine little plastic. Let's get this rigged up. Everybody has their own way that they like to rig things up. Me, if I have the ability to do so, and it is available to me, I will use the polymer knot. And when you have a, what do you call that? A point that's too small to get the line that's doubled over on it, you just do what I just did. You put it through, you put it back through, get your loop, pull the loop through, pull that down. Oops. Losing it. Put that through there, pull it tight. Make sure that you're not caught on your weed guards. Make sure you're not caught on the other end of the nose. Then wet it at the end, and then just pull her tight. Cut off your tag end. There you go. Now, for round one, we're going to do it without an O-ring. I'm just going to show you how to put this worm on here, and we're going to go throw it a couple times, see what we can catch. So you want to just find the middle. What you can do, here's a little hack for you. Fold it in half, fold the worm in half, find out where you want to put it, stick it in. You want the worm sitting where it can wiggle freely, right at the bottom of that hook there. All right, let's go throw this a couple times, see if we can catch something before the sun goes down. I've got this on my Mojo Bass rod with the SLX DC reel. And I believe this is just a 12-pound fluoro. Seeing a little bit of action here, something breaking the surface. Now, the whole idea here is you want to cast it out. You want to let it fall all the way to the bottom. It takes a while. After it's fallen, pick it back up, let it fall. Pick it back up, let it fall. Pretty shallow here, but pick it up, let it fall. The majority of the time when you're fishing with this, it's going to be the fall where the fish bite. No, I don't mean the season. I mean, as this worm falls, the fish are going to bite. So one thing that a lot of people will do wrong is they're not going to pay attention to the line. A lot of the time, you're going to see it before you feel it, because as you pull up to reset to get it up off the bottom and let it fall again, you're gonna feel the fish. But if you're watching your line, you can actually see the fish take it before you do that. I might have to use some older video clips of me catching fish this way just to show you guys. Yeah, the idea here is you don't want to do too much with this. You can very easily do too much, and I'm guilty of it all the time. Sometimes I just don't have the correct patience level. Throw it in, let it fall. Don't do anything else. Don't pull it, don't twitch it. Just let it fall. All the way to the bottom. A lot of the time, on the way down, the fish is going to hit it. And the only way you're going to know is if you see the line. The line will move just a little bit, it'll start twitching. Pull it up, straight up, let it fall. When you go to pull this up, don't just yank it up, because a lot of times the fish will have it in its mouth and you can feel it. It'll feel like weight on the end of the line. It'll feel like you're kind of starting to drag it through mud. If you feel that, then you set the hook. And a lot of times when you set the hook, instead of pulling it up, oh my, I should listen to my own directions. Instead of pulling it straight up, you're going to side swipe. Just more efficient. That is, of course, unless you have a buddy next to you, in which case don't do that. Yeah, I'm curious if you guys can see, though, on the camera, this falling in the water. Because the way that it falls is what gets the fish. It's almost like, I think the best way to describe it is, you remember in school when you'd take a pencil and you'd go like this, and it would look like the pencil was rubber? I mean, that's exactly what happens to this. Just like we were mesmerized as kids by that, the fish are mesmerized by this. All right, let's go put an O-ring on here, just so I can show you that part. All right, I'm going to show you how the O-ring works. Let's just pop that off. I'm going to get our Wacky Rig O-ring tool combo with 15 included rings. I'll show you guys what this is. I mean, you could really make this at home if you really wanted to. Anybody who's a little bit handier than me could probably just make this. But it's also cheap. I think it was only like $3. And realistically, it'll last forever. So the way this works is, this is hollow. There's rings here, and you can add more onto there. But you take one ring, roll it up on there, get it ready. Take your worm. We're going to use the one that we were already using, because why not? Drop the worm into the chute. And then we're going to roll this ring down. And the worm should only go about halfway in, because once again, we're trying to get it to the halfway mark. So we're going to put it right there. We're going to let this O-ring pop off out of the worm. Boom. Pull the worm out. Now, instead of hooking it through the worm, we're actually just going to hook it right through that ring. Yeah. So go under the ring, back out. And I mean, what this does is that ring stays so tight that a lot of times when you're fishing this and a fish hits it, or you catch a fish, you lose the worm. You know, that's not the greatest thing for the environment, having a bunch of soft plastics at the bottom of the lake. It's also not good for your bank account, because if you've ever bought a pack of Yamasenkos, it's like $8, $9. I mean, this is gold. All right, let's go try this with the O-ring now. See if we have any luck. Another thing about adding the O-ring, get the camera up for you guys. Another thing about adding the O-ring on there is you can cast a lot farther. I've had times where I just hook it normally, don't have an O-ring, don't want to use one, yada yada. I go out to cast it normally, and I usually want to cast these pretty far. Let them sink, pull it up. Let it sink, pull it up, and that's how you retrieve it. Sometimes you cast it without the O-ring, and the worm goes flying off. With the O-ring, very rare. I mean, you have to basically mess your cast up and or just tie it wrong and watch the thing fly off. The O-ring is like some insurance. So pull it up, let it fall. And then as you're putting your pole back down, that's when you reel. You're not actually reeling the worm in. All you're doing is pulling. Oop, I just got a bite. Oop, just got another bite. Oh yeah. There he is. Just for the video, guys. Look at that little cute bass. Wacky worm with a wacky fish on it. Sitting there talking about the O-ring and how it works, and I was about to tell you lose less worms with it, and now you get to see it happen. So a lot of times when you're fishing without the O-ring and you catch a fish like this, the worm will fly right off. But since we had that O-ring there, it kept it on. And then let me pop this off real quick. I'll do a little, just a little guy. You know, he didn't have a very good summer. He wasn't eating very good, but let's put him back nice and easy and let's watch him take off. See you later, bud. Well, that's awesome. We know that there's some bass in here, so let's see if we can get ourselves a couple more small ones. And see, that's one of the reasons that you want to use a smaller hook, because even a bass that size has a decent sized mouth. So you don't got to go too small, but if that was a huge hook, it might not have hooked up. Another thing is, I'm not sure if you can see it on the video, but as that fish was biting, the line was just jerking. I could barely feel it. And there's going to be times where you don't feel that. That's when it's important to be watching the line. Biggest amateur mistake you can make with Wacky Rig is not watching your line. Honestly, it's a good replacement for a lot of you guys out there that are watching these videos where people are using live scope, because it's kind of like being an iPad kid, only instead of watching a screen, you're watching your line. All right, let's try again. Oh. So now, instead of losing our worm's still on there. It's a little janky. We'll move this down again. There we go. Slide that down into a good position. And let's let it rip. I will say, the weed guard still got it. I also don't know how well this, probably should have set up my other camera, but it's set up on my power pole right now for the boat. I should have set up my other camera so you guys could have got the shot of me setting the hook there. But when I set the hook, I pulled it this way. I didn't pull straight up. I didn't try and rip the fish's mouth off. You know, they call it ripping lips, but you don't got to actually rip their lips off, all right? Nice, easy hook. Because when these fish hit this, they don't nibble it. They don't just take their time. They hit it. They swallow it whole. You have time to set that hook, and you don't got to be crazy about it. You never do. Fishing's just so much fun. I'm out here making a video, not even expecting to catch a fish, and I catch a fish. I mean, this is what I really love about it, is you just never know. This is not the perfect day for it. It's never the perfect day for it, you know? Everybody talks about the different moon phases and the pressure. Does it affect it? Maybe. Probably even. But can you still catch fish when those things aren't right? Heck yeah, you can. And if anybody tells you you can't, they just don't know how to fish. Simple as that. Here's a fishing myth that I believe. After you catch one fish with one method in an area, like with this Wacky Rig, I don't think I'm going to catch anymore. Because he just went home and told everybody, hey, you try and eat that, you're about to get abducted by aliens. I mean, in their world, that's what happened, right? I mean, once this hits bottom, and you can kind of, this is another reason to watch your line, you can kind of tell when it's hitting bottom. My recording is never going to catch this line perfectly, but you'll know what I'm talking about when you see it in person, when you're trying it. But you'll see as you lift, and then reel, stop. The line will slowly, if you're using fluorocarbon like I am, it'll slowly sink. And you'll tell when it hits bottom because it'll stop coming towards you. Like right there, it just hit bottom. Now I'm going to pull it up, reel, let it go. Cool thing about the Wacky Rig is it'll catch you fish just about anywhere. I mean, you can use it in a river, you can use it in a pond, you can use it in a lake. I'm sure you could use it in the ocean. I've never ocean fished. I'd love to, but we'll get there someday. But yeah, fluorocarbon as a line sinks, so that's why you're seeing that. Now, if you were using something like braid tends to float. You'll still see that, but it won't be the same. It'll just be a point where it kind of stops. Remember, gentle when you're pulling up for the first time. Because a lot of times you won't even know, but that fish will have it in its mouth. Another reason that I really like fishing Wacky is because you can fish it as fast as you want, really. I mean, you can let it sink, pull it up, let it sink, pull it up, or you can sit and have a conversation while that thing's sitting on the bottom. A fish can still hit it at any point. They just suck it up like a vacuum cleaner. Cool thing about the Wacky Rig is you can fish it whenever you want. I mean, realistically, you could probably fish this ice fishing. It'd work. It'd just be way more difficult because the fish would have to be right in front of it.
This is really good for fishing fall, I feel like, because fish are a little lazier in the fall. Well, bass are a little lazier in the fall. I shouldn't say that because muskie and pike and things like that do turn on in the fall, trying to get fat for the winter. But bass tend to chill. I find that when fish chill, you got to match their pace. You got to slow it down. They're not into anything with a ton of action, anything that's just freaking out. And, you know, summertime when it's hot, they're into that. This time of the year, not so much. Listen, guys, that's how you fish a wacky rig. You know, I went into this not even expecting to catch a fish. I thought I was gonna have to use old footage because of the time of the year and the time of the day. But I ended up catching a little baby bass, you know. It was a good time, and it just goes to show you that using the wacky rig, it'll consistently catch you fish. I mean, it's something that you can tie on and you're gonna end up catching something.
Whoa, hold on. Normally I'd wrap the video up here, but I had so much fun that I decided to go out and give it another try at a new spot.
Humps, my humps, my humps. Check it out. I had to sing music to myself because I can't use copyrighted audio. Or in my famous, I caught a bluegill spot. Ugh, looks pretty slimy up that way. Gotta be some bass in here, right? You know, the wacky rig, it'll catch more than bass. It'll catch pike. Might catch like a mondo bluegill, but I don't know, bluegill don't get as big up here like they do in the south. I mean, they might, but I don't see them. I don't got any mondo foreheads around here. And it's shallow in here too. We've been getting rain though. That's why I'm just a little confused. Maybe this is normal for this time of the year and I'm just losing it. I'm just trying to entice him to come out and play. Don't you guys want to come out and play? Come on, little fish, come out and play. Don't be shy. Come meet your friend, the stick bait. Oh yeah, fish on. Spoke too soon. There's fish in this creek. Another little bass, look at that. Rocking and rolling, bud. I got my finger caught. He didn't give the little baby guy a little lip piercing. He just had a good time. Look. What are you looking at? What are you eating? What are you doing in this creek? All right, buddy. Thanks for coming to play. Have fun with your friends. Whee! See if there's another one over there for us. All right, let's see the damage. Look at that. None. O-ring held her on. One thing we got to do is roll her back. Let's try and go deeper, see if we can find his dad. She got hit again. Oh, yeah, another one. Oh, we're just slaying the babies. These poor little guys. Oh, this one I did bottom hook. Oh. Say hello to the camera. The paparazzi is here. Thanks for catching me, Prongs Outdoors. Whoa. And I said, let him be free. All right, guys, there you have it. You know, I come out, I wasn't even expecting to catch a fish. I just wanted to show you guys how to rig it, how to cast it, how to reel it in. We covered all that. And then on top of it, I got to catch 3 fish. You know, you can't ask for a much better evening of fishing than that. I know they're all dinks, but it's still a lot of fun. There you go. It's proof that the wacky rig can still catch fish, even in the fall, even when it's the bite slowing down. So thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, do the things. Catch you guys next time.
Until next time, guys, this has been Prongs Outdoors.